Good morning, guys. Well, it's not really morning anymore. It's like 3:30. But happy Super Bowl Sunday. So this is going to be a very raw and unedited video, but I wanted to get it up for you guys because I told you guys as soon as I figured out what came of my job situation, I would let y'all know, and we've kind of known for a couple of days, but I've still been pretty sore, and I just didn't really feel like coming on and filming it, and I was still mad, and I just needed like a couple of days to just be mad about it. But I did lose my job slash kind of quit over the whole surgery thing. I don't know, what would you... Tyler is also driving, so he's probably not going to spend a whole lot of time looking at the camera, but he does want to talk about this because I know he has some things that he really wants to say. So
I don't know if I would qualify it as quitting or being let go. I guess I would qualify it as being pushed into a corner in a way that made her have to quit.
yeah. So I'm gonna give a brief rundown of what happened. I'm not gonna mention any names, and I'm not gonna mention the place that I worked for, just kind of out of respect. But what happened was, as I think I mentioned in my last video, I told you guys that I was having this surgery, and my boss had known for a month that it had to be rescheduled for the 30th of January, and waited until January the 5th to kind of inform me that I probably wasn't going to be able to take it because those dates ended up being blackout dates. My leave didn't get turned in time, which was not my fault, but I had told my boss that there was really nothing else I could do because there was nothing open until August, and that wasn't going to work because that's when our kids come back to school and a whole bunch of things just starts happening, so that wasn't going to get approved either. So my boss was just kind of like, keep the date. I'm messaging the admin people now to see what we can work out. I'll let you know at the end of the day. Well, I didn't find out until last week, like Tuesday, that it still wasn't going to be approved, and I needed this doctor's note. And basically they said that because it wasn't a surgery that I necessarily needed, as in it wasn't a life or death situation, it was just something that I wanted. It was the same as asking for vacation time, pretty much. And my boss just kind of kept throwing up that, well, I didn't get to go to Disney and I miss out on a whole bunch of money, so, it's nothing personal, it's just, it's fair because I didn't get to go to Disney and I missed out on all that money and, whatever. And so basically, I got my doctor's note turned in. That was supposed to be turned in last Thursday. I don't know when it got turned in. All I know is Monday, the day before my surgery, my boss told me that all of my stuff was now sitting on admin's desk and still pending approval. So, had the surgery Tuesday. We thought I was going to get to go back on Monday, but my doctor had said that really I needed until the 19th because I have lifting restrictions until then. And so my boss kind of made it sound like there was a good chance that that wasn't going to get approved, and I don't think they were going to approve it. But because I have been being told for a month now that I was probably going to lose my job over this, I applied for unemployment. And unemployment called my boss or the admin office, and I think that is the only reason why they ended up approving it. But my boss let me know on what day was it? Was it Wednesday or was it Thursday that the leave got approved?
It would have been Thursday because I turned it in
on Wednesday. So it was Thursday, she let me know that the leave got approved. And I have all the texts just in case I need it. But basically, it ended up her bringing back up the Disney thing and how it would have been fair if they wouldn't have approved my surgery. And I told her, I said, well, asking to go to Disney for a vacation is not the same thing as asking, to take leave for a surgery. And she then kind of messaged me back after that and was like, I'm so sick of you being hateful and being smart and, forget it, I'm sending in your resignation papers. And I was kind of like, okay, well, thanks. But, so that's what happened. So I am out of a job. So for right now, I'm looking and I'm trying, to work on my YouTube channel and seeing where this takes me, and because I really enjoy doing this. I have a lot of fun filming for you guys, and I love editing videos. I think it's really fun, but I don't know, we'll see. I don't know if you had anything to any of that you wanted to add.
Well, I'll go ahead and just kind of throw this out there. I've held several jobs in my lifetime, and I've had several bosses, and I've had both good bosses and bad bosses. And one recurring conversation that Karina and I kept having when all of this was going on was whether or not keeping this job was actually worth it. And for the sake of our viewers, for the sake of my wife, at a certain point, no matter how good the pay might be or how good the benefits might be, at a certain point, if you're being made to feel less than other employees on a regular basis, or if you're being made to feel like your boss or your boss's bosses just couldn't care less if you continue to work there, there comes a point where it's better to just let it go, look for something else, try to put yourself in a situation where you're happy. Because, for me, and this isn't the same for everybody, and I know that everybody has different financial commitments than us, but for us, I would rather see Karina in a situation where she goes to work and she comes home and she's happy every day. And this particular job, 9 times out of 10, she'd go to work and she'd come home and she'd be exhausted, and she'd be upset, because a parent, or because, her boss, or because administration had done something that was just blatantly shitty. And I'm sorry about the language, but just not something that a good, high-functioning business would want their leadership to act like. And it sucked because there were parts of that job that she really enjoyed doing, but
it was a great paying job. I loved all of my kids. I loved, the teacher that I worked with. But I guess my boss and I, or my ex-boss and I, whatever, I guess we just didn't click very well. It was one of those things where she was not afraid to tell you that, she didn't want to be there either. She doesn't want that job either. She said, on a couple of different accounts that if certain situations panned out the way, she was hoping they would, she was going to be out of there too. I worked at a place where we have to eat what the kids eat, which is fine because I'm not a picky eater, but when all you're getting for lunch is 2 chicken tenders and a roll, that's barely enough to feed a kid, let alone a grown adult. So I was always coming home super just hangry and exhausted because I just wasn't getting food, which I know, haha, the jokes, go ahead and start commenting them. I'm tiny, how much can I eat? But I eat a lot of food, guys, y'all don't understand. But when I say my boss and I didn't get along, like, we weren't always, like, arguing. I was never hateful to her. I was always very respectful because, I mean, at the end of the day, she was still my boss. So I do think she owes me an apology for that, but, it was just everything she did just annoyed me. She was never at work. She was always leaving early. She was always coming in late. It was just like, she was the only person who was allowed to have, like, a life and be trying to, have a family. And
oh yeah, that should be worth mentioning through all of this, and this is a source of great frustration for me. I know it's a great source of frustration for Karina, but her boss, she has routinely acted like, our struggles are less important than her struggles. I mean, she would routinely just take off entire stretches of a week because she did this or she was trying to do that.
Because she's salary and she can. But
God forbid that, Karina should have a surgery to try to make us being able to have kids possible. She was not cooperative in any of this, and routinely made Karina feel bad about wanting to go through with this surgery because it was an inconvenience to this person.
And I know what some of you guys are, gonna say, like, well, she was doing her job, it was blackout dates, but I will throw this out. I did not know that they were blackout dates because my email had got messed up. We couldn't get it fixed. My boss, wasn't really actively trying to get it fixed, and actually there is a moment that is on their camera where she came into my room at the end of the day and he was sitting there, and she started griping at me because I hadn't had something done for her, and then she realized that I wasn't getting any of her emails because she took me off her contact list. For 3 months, I have not been getting emails because I have not been on a contact list. And and I've been telling her that for 3 months, and she just now, pieced it together. So I didn't know they were blackout dates. She had the email. I didn't, and at that point she had already told me I could take off for the surgery. So that's kind of, if she had just went back through, talked to the people she was supposed to talk to, filled out the leave like she was supposed to, and then got back with me that day like she said she was going to, and said, hey, those are blackout dates, I could have rescheduled for either the 15th of January or sometime in February. But she didn't. She didn't let me know until the week before my surgery. So, she didn't let me know officially until the week before my surgery that, no, there's nothing we can do to, help you out. So, that was kind of, at least for me, what was the most frustrating about the entire situation.
Yeah. The whole thing from start to finish was very frustrating.
And then, I know this really bothered Tyler, and it was just the fact that they were so reluctant to just give me 4 days. But then when it was like, oh, we need the 19th, they were like...
Yeah, they were...
Oh, okay, that's fine.
They were absolutely just, gung-ho and hard against giving her the actual time for the surgery. But then they were just almost flippant about giving us an extra 2 weeks on the end of it.
And I still think that was just because they knew I had applied for unemployment. Yeah, because of the
unemployment claim. It's just the entire hierarchy of that job just seemed like it was actively trying to get her to a point where she wanted to quit.
Yeah.
And
they some of the people that had worked higher up and whatever, we would have these, big group meetings, trainings and stuff, and I mean, they would just call me out, and they wouldn't even call me Karina. They would be like, oh yeah, you girl who left for a week and then came back, because I did. There was a time where, and I have a video about it, you guys can go watch it. I think I have a video about it up anyways, but I had left for a week, and it was kind of a similar situation. My back had went out and we thought I was going to lose my job, and my boss and she was just being crappy towards me. And I ended up, like, they ended up talking me into coming back, and I came back, and then, so they would just, like, call me the girl who left for a week and then came back in front of, like, hundreds of people, which was really embarrassing. But yeah, I think since I came back, we have definitely, like, they talked me into coming back, and then it was like, okay, but we're gonna do everything we can to, like, push you away. So I am no longer employed with them, as I have stated, and that is what happened. I feel like Tyler has said everything he wanted to, and I will go ahead and just kind of like as like a disclaimer or whatever, I will apologize to any coworkers and parents that might be watching this, because my coworkers have, as far as I know, or my ex-coworkers, I guess at this point, but as far as I know, they've been great. I've never had any issues with any of you guys. I never had any issues with, you know, the parents that are probably watching this. I will miss you guys a lot. But I think in the end, this is going to end up, even if I'm without an income for, you know, a month or two, I think this is going to be better for us in the long run. Which is something I have had to really kind of wrap my brain around and just accept, is like, you know, we have to start doing what's right for us, not what's going to make everybody else happy. And I think Tyler can kind of testify to, I am the worst person about wanting to make everybody else happy and then just kind of leave us lying in a ditch somewhere.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but
it's pretty bad. It's almost that bad, but
well, that's a different video for a different day.
But anyways, yeah, so like I said, I'm applying and looking for something else. I'm gonna see where this YouTube takes me, because again, I love doing this. I love learning about you guys. So y'all just keep watching and liking these videos and hitting that subscribe button, and let me know what you guys would like to see and what I can do to, you know, improve my YouTube channel. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.